Hi, everyone. Delfino Aguilar here, coming you live from our corporate office here in Hutton Center in Santa Ana with a very special guest, Aimie Wilson, who is our VP of QA and Post Closing. Thank you, Aimie, for being on here with me today, a news edition of Del Talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm excited as we're recording here. This is live, so I need to shut off my email as I'm getting email coming in because I know we're busy. And actually, we're in the same building, right? Truth be told, I'm in the actually the boardroom that we have here, and you're in your office. It's about 95 degrees here in Santa Ana, so I'm glad that we're doing it inside. Usually, we sometimes do these outside, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. So Aimie, so let's talk a little bit about you and like what you do here at KindLending. Now, we were joking earlier that you kind of run the whole show, right? Like the QA and the post closing, your very important job. But before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit about your background, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself, Aimie.
Well, I started in this industry, oh my gosh, 25 years ago. Don't want to admit that. I started out with the S&Ls. So I worked with the S&Ls for quite a few years and then wound up in the finance company world. And after that into mortgage lending. And I would say Stearns Lending was probably the third organization I worked for.
Okay.
And that's what brought me here with all the connections and the people I worked with from Stearns Lending.
Yeah. Okay, great. And so you're originally from Southern California?
Born and raised.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So you have a very important job, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. But what really led you to kind of look at KindLending as your next landing spot?
Well, I did get a call from Yvonne Ketchum, and she's amazing. So once we had the opportunity to talk and I found out who the talent was that was already brought on board, I thought, wow, what an amazing opportunity. Some of the same folks that shined at other organizations that I worked at. So I was very blessed to have had that call.
Yeah. Yvonne's awesome. And we're blessed to have you here on our team. Like we said, you do so much. Like we're joking earlier, and you said you're here 7 days a week, which, that's a long time to be in this office, right? But it is pretty cool in here. So I understand that. So, tell us a little bit about, we're going to talk about we need folks to join, but tell us a little bit about what your department does, because you're very important, especially with the QA piece, as we bring on new brokers, as we approve new brokers and things like that. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do really in the QA side here at Kind.
Okay, the QA side, we have certain policies and procedures that we put in place that we look at all new brokers coming in. So we perform audits on their loan files. We look for any defects, any data integrity issues within the loan system. And we report those defects back to the operations team. We make a nice, clean, pretty file that we can sell without issue. So really just the QA process is just going behind an underwriter and reevaluating the credit and capacity of that loan file. We move on.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then you guys are doing it as we're approving new brokers. I think that piece has been awesome because it's quick, right? So as a broker, sometimes you don't want that piece to hold you up because, you're new to Kind, right? And so you guys are very quick. So definitely appreciate that for sure. You make our life easier, right? So thank you.
Good. That's so good to hear. We want it to be seamless.
Yes, and it is. So it's been awesome. So thank you for that, And as new brokers are getting approved with us, so what are some things that the AEs and their account managers partner with them throughout the process, about, making sure you get all your documents in, things like that. What are some things that you might feel can hold up the QA process? Like, are there documents you see that are aged sometimes, or what are some things that might highlight that?
For me, the biggest thing is just documenting the file. I honestly believe if the picture is painted perfectly, it could get in and out of underwriting quicker. That being said, if you have a borrower who's refinancing, they've been in their house 8 years, but their pay stub shows a different address. Give us a letter of explanation so we don't have to stop in underwriting or QA catches it and inquires, if you will.
Right.
Little things like that. Any
Yeah.
type of supporting documentation to help us push it through faster is wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think we really tried the AEs. First of all, the brokers we have approved, and brokers that are watching this, we're going to get to you guys, right? We're still not fully open, so the brokers that are submitting to us now, there's some good feedback, and they've been awesome. Actually, our clients, we've had long-lasting relationships with some of the clients that have joined us so far, and the feedback has been great. But definitely enjoy those little extra cookies you gave us, right, to make sure that we go through that quickly. On the post-closing side, talk to us a little bit about that. Mostly everybody that's watching this is definitely familiar with post-closing and the QA piece, right? And what makes it special is the team members that, like you and the people on your team, which we're going to get to a little bit here soon, do on that side. But talk to us a little bit about like the post-closing piece.
Well, I don't know if everybody out there realizes once a file is closed or funded, it spends a lot more time in post-closing than it does from origination to funding. And that is, we're receiving settlement packages that we have to image and scan, get into our systems. We have to split collateral and process that collateral, get it to a warehouse bank or a document custodian. And then we prep that file so we can deliver it to our investors, whether it's the GSEs, an aggregator, whomever, we have to prepare that file for delivery. Once it's delivered, we might receive from our investors conditions or suspenses, if you will, and then we have to work on any defect that we might have in that file. So it takes, I would say, 2 to 3 different teams just to validate that process is completed accurately.
Yeah, and that because sometimes, like you said, that timing piece is important, right? And you said there's sometimes 3 different teams. Can you talk briefly about the components of that at all to give everybody that doesn't know that much about post-closing? I'm sure a lot of people do, but I would consider, one of those things that you really don't think about when you're originating a loan, right? Like as in operations, you get it, you fund it, you underwrite, but then there's a different world, the post-closing world, that's extremely important, and you collaborate with both parties. So who are those people that you really collaborate with?
Our first team, if you will, are shippers and imagers. They receive the packages, they image them, and they prepare the collateral to be shipped to our warehouse banks or document custodian. From there, there's another team that makes sure MERS is registered. Our data delivery set to our investor has no errors. We leverage from our investors' portals to do that process. And we have a third team that is like a QC team. If there are suspense conditions found from the investor, they're delivered to us, and that team works on clearing those suspense conditions. Right.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's a whole, like you said, a whole different world. It's a whole little thing going on in the back end. I think it's great. I think, I want the world to know a little bit more about that, right? Because it's becoming even more important. As turn times are extended throughout the industry anyway, right? So it's really important. Your guys' piece, thank you for all the hard work your guys' team does on that for sure, right? And how many people are on your team now, Aimie?
I currently have 11. I will have 3 onboarding, I believe, in a week or 2. I'm looking for additional post-closers and, most importantly, a post-closing manager.
Post-closing manager, right. So first of all, the information you've given us so far is awesome. So thank you for that. But I think let's talk a little bit about the recruiting piece, right? We have 11, but our goal is to have a lot more. What type of person are you looking for in that management role?
And I know we all express this here. Somebody that fits our culture. It sounds like we're beating a dead horse. I have a lot of fun coming to work. I enjoy the team. I'm sure all of us at my age has probably had one organization. They just thoroughly enjoyed going to work, seeing the people you work with. It's rare. And I was lucky enough to have it once before and today. Somebody that just fits the culture, is a team player. I'm helping out in any way I can. As a lot of our automation is being built out, we're doing a lot of manual process throughout the life of the loan on the post-close side. And I'm completely involved, and so is my team. Wherever we can help, it's a lot of manual today, but we're getting through it and making great improvement to the system.
Great improvement, yeah, and that's awesome. I think the culture piece is extremely important because not everybody's going to fit, as I see Glenn walking towards your way, actually, right now. Speaking of, yeah, he's walking that way right now. I just saw him walk in. You know, and I think the culture piece is key. Anytime we're looking for anybody to join the organization, I think it's extremely important. You know, I think it's extremely important. And we have a special guest that just walked by. Say hi.
Hey,
we're doing our newest edition of Del Talk right now. So we're interviewing Amy.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Yeah, we're just talking a little bit about culture. Thank you. I just saw you walk by.
Good stuff.
All right.
Keep it going, my friend.
So, all right. So sorry about that. We had a special guest walk by, so we got to bring him in. So culture is extremely important. So I think that's the key ingredient that we're kind of looking for here, especially within our leadership team, because it is all about that, as you know. So, well, Amy, we kept you for over 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I know you're busy. I'm glad that you were able to join us today. I know that you guys have a lot going on. I figured I'd schedule your interview in the beginning of the month, right? Because you're a lot less busy. Right? So listen, everyone, thank you for listening today. We want to introduce the world to Aimie Wilson. Amy, thank you for all your hard work. Your group is phenomenal. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing. If you want to learn more about Amy, if you want to post on her new position that she has open here at KindLending, visit us at kindlending.com. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And also make sure you watch our YouTube channels as well. So, Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
No problem. You too. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you soon.